Um, and the scene opens. Stefan this evening is walking through the neighborhoods of Little Italy, heading up uh, through the projects to the Aphrodite, trying to remember um, as best he can, the routes he's taken in the past, um, being in somewhere safer. He kind of tends to run into some problem areas, not being one to want to be caught up like he did that first visit. Kind of tries to slink into shadows. Kind of try to remain hidden. He thinks he's doing okay. Most people don't seem to notice him. He kind of veers off his paths, kind of takes a different one, and just trying to keep quiet, keep unseen, nonchalant. Kind of looking a bit paranoid. Pulling the hood of his sweater over his head, like he remembers that wonderful piece of advice he was given the first time. Also trying to make a show of trying to cover up his business casual because he is dressed for work. He continues through the projects. Again, trying to stick more to the shadows, to try to remain unseen, and does a little bit better. Couple times, he runs into some rough individuals. He kind of stops for a moment. He tries to imagine. He tries to picture himself like part of a wall. Try to basically blend in, just like a fly, and kind of stands still, quiet, not moving at all, waiting for the activity to pass.
From one of the nearby alleyways, a solitary hooded figure emerges, almost as if he, appeared out of thin air. His face isn't visible. He obviously wears a scarf or a hood of sorts. Keeps his head low, purposely, not to attract any attention, and he just keeps on walking without any sense of direction.
Ahead of you, this is about about 6, maybe 8 blocks into the projects from the southern edge. Ahead of you, maybe half a block or so, you see some figures standing outside a street light. Sounds of broken glass, shouting. Sounds like junkies arguing with their dealer. overpriced or maybe product. Um, you know, pretty typical for the projects. Um, would you have just like come around the corner, or would you have been like walking down this alley?
Just come around the corner.
Okay. Um, other than that, I mean, as you get closer down the alley, you pass a dumpster, and you hear a sound of a couple cats. Not quite sure what direction they're coming from, and uh, you feel something like a couple uh, objects or maybe bodies like cross your foot, like just abruptly out of nowhere. Go ahead and give me a perception alertness. Let's see. Of course.
Two.
Yeah. And oh, that's right. Your one eye ups the difficulty, doesn't it? Yeah. You managed to step back as a cat and a stray dog run past you into a side alley. Um, and you hear a gasp about this moment. The two, three individuals they end up going this way, and others end up going this way, and you hear
What direction?
um off to the side and just slightly behind you, like you've just passed it, so it's kind of like half behind you on your right side. Uh, you should be more careful.
Thomas turns his head towards you. Like this.
Mostly in shadow. Right side of his face is hidden by darkness. Face is kind of covered with a medium gray hood. And he kind of steps out from away from a wall. Whatever ambient streetlight is coming through, you see kind of glare off of shiny-ish shoes. Man stands about 5'10", fairly lean, but not stick scrawny.
Are you standing close to me? Really close? Close enough to smell me?
Oh yeah, probably to my detriment.
You're going to smell a mix of, well, obviously a chain smoker and a smell of musk, kind of like a house nobody has been in for a long time, kind of like that odor.
Oh, kind of shakes his head.
Something wrong?
Nothing. It's not. It is not the first odor I have ever had my nostrils assailed by. It just startled me mostly. Was trying to stay out of sight from, say, locals.
Understandable. Things kind of get a lot of, well, things kind of get a lot of unsafe around here, around this hour, especially in, well, this region of the city.
Yeah, every single time I've headed to this damn seedy bar close to its central point. I've always tried to be as cautious as I could. And he kind of walks around you to your left side. I was actually heading to the Aphrodite to kind of clear my head a bit. You're welcome to join. Um, Being as close as he is, it's going to kind of focus his hearing a bit, and oh yeah, 4 successes. No, 3 successes, high successes. Does Thomas have a discernible heartbeat?
Nope.
Because I am pretty close. I'm like standing shoulder to shoulder.
No heartbeat whatsoever.
Yeah, you're welcome to join.
Quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be going to the 3rd floor using the surface elevator?
Well, I wouldn't want to be caught in trouble on one of the lower floors.
Something tells me you're, well, might be an educated guess here, but are you a fan of Bloody Marys?
Actually, in the past I was schnapps, man. It was my drink of choice. So long ago. So hard to get. Vintage is not common to this country.
So you're not from around here?
Not originally. I've lived in this city for the past 10 years, but let's just say some still consider me not as local.
Well, let's just say we all like traveling, well, at one point in our lives.
That's true. That's very true.
Just going to make a quick roll in order to kind of grasp your accent.
Mm-hmm.
Which would be intelligence.
Streetwise. And you could add those 3 dice.
3 dice from my natural linguist.
Oh, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah. You picked that up easily from your time traveling throughout Germany. Specifically,
Smirks.
more of a Hamburg accent.
Thomas smirks. Ah. Du bist Deutsch, meine Freunde?
He replies, "Yeah, your accent is almost local." I would, in fact, be heading up to the 3rd floor. It is the safest for, especially for people with. And he kind of like walks ahead of you and kind of turns around to see like the right side of your face in the whatever street light is coming from behind him, without obscuring it.
You're going to see a black right side of the face. Missing eye. Looks like it's been covered in tar. Although there's no flakiness, there's just smoothness. Kind of like somebody took face paint and just very symmetrically painted his face.
Catches like one small glimmer, especially with someone with your odd complexion.
Yeah.
It's not the worst. It was actually, I don't know, I find it, for some strange reason, after I've had any kind of moves to the side of you, back to the left, while he's talking, usually I find myself coming in here after I've had hard previous nights.
Good way to kind of relax, kick back, collect your thoughts.
And he starts walking down the continuing down the alleyway toward the street, and it doesn't appear that he's very good at navigating the projects, but you see him on occasion kind of stop, and you'll notice that, like, on occasion he'll fall behind you, and for a moment you won't see him. I'm gonna go ahead and roll a dex stealth. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can make a perception awareness if you like turn your head in that direction.
Would you be making any sounds?
No. Except for like footfalls, which, I mean, there's like debris and like dirt and stuff like that. Yeah, for a second at one point, he just like completely seems to like vanish. Like, and then like at that moment you'll hear somebody like running past, like a couple people, shouting. Sounds like a woman running from like a possibly abusive husband, and they move down an alleyway into another barely populated building off to the right, and then kind of you hear him again, footsteps like on some glass. So that was close.
Yeah.
My apologies. I don't usually like to do that in company.
Don't worry about it. Nothing wrong with a little, being cautious. Suppose we're not far now.
At this point, we'll kind of fast forward, following about the same patterns. It's actually good. I'm gonna have him roll the wits. Oh yeah, he's gotten his bearings. You can tell at this point, things have gotten familiar to where he's navigating better. It's kind of unusual that all of a sudden it's like, and you both of you while walking, making whatever idle conversation. We end up finding our way through like some very safe alleyways, mostly deserted or completely deserted in some cases. And a couple times, walking through some streetlights. I mean, by now he's caught the full breadth of your appearance. This is the first time I came here. It was to visit the statue in the center of the projects. I've heard so much about it.
Many of the projects?
Yeah. ran into an interesting couple of individuals. Von was very lucky he did not get his brains splattered all over the alleyway. The other, I did not see her face. I know it was a she by her voice, but and he starts describing a figure with a hood and glasses and coat. Very familiar description to you. She gave me a card. Apparently, she's some kind of techie, and it's just, and he kind of looks around, kind of.
Did she give you a name?
Techie. Mort.
Yes, we are related.
Well, does she have much luck doing business in this area?
Well, unlike most of the stores around here or computer services around here, she actually has quite, well, flexible hours for people who don't exactly sleep at night or have a averse allergy to sunlight.
I wonder, to your knowledge, does she offer advert services with this computer stuff?
I suppose it's mostly hardware, fixing your computer, fixing, well, whatever thing you have. I suppose you could always ask her. However, I can't say if she does any adverts or would be able to help you with any adverts in specific.
I was asking on behalf of employer of
Oh,
mine. Bar close to the southeast, close to the southeast of the industrial district. Interesting place. I am surprised it's in business, but they were looking for somebody to take night shift.
do they have any specialties?
Not that I know of. They do make sandwiches. I don't know if they are good, but apparently it it keeps people coming in during work hours during the day.
It's always good.
At this
Probably
point,
very homey.
well, quite small, but still enough room for occasional working class couple to dance here and there. The music can be catchy. And at this point, the Aphrodite comes into view. What is it that you do? I'm sorry, I'm forgetting my manners. Stefan Braunfiedler
He outstretches his hand, which is as black as his face.
takes a hand.
Feels rather dry. Not slimy or anything. Not not moisturized, just kind of like you would grab a glove, leather glove,
Okay.
gives you a
Uh,
firm shake. Thomas Jumo.
Handshake is very businesslike. Nice to meet you. What is it you do?
Mm. Would you mind discussing that inside?
Yeah, and Stefan heads around to the side entrance at the service elevator. Takes it like maybe 10 seconds. Then doors open, and he steps in.
Thomas follows you.
Elevator Door closes. Lift goes up rather quickly. Kind of pulls his hood down a bit. And at this point, you can see that he's wearing slacks. His shoes are, nice business casual. And you're like, oh, shit. If I didn't know any better, I'm surprised he didn't get jumped. Door opens, and third floor of the Aphrodite looks just as seedy and run down as any other floor. Nice areas here, mostly dingy. Smell of cigarette smoke, possibly beer vomit, covered up with Lysol. Stefan steps out and heads over to a table in the corner. There's no one else here on the third floor this evening, save for the two people that get out of the elevator.
Thomas grabs a chair, pulls it backwards, kind of makes himself comfortable, leans backwards, crosses one leg over the other, as if he's coming home for some reason.
It's good to be comfortable.
Indeed.
Yeah, I'm not fun for bartending myself, but had to do something to pay the bills.
Beggars can be choosers, I suppose.
No. Especially when, artistic pursuits are not easy to apply or finance. Trying to get a hold of the right people was a pain.
What exactly do you do, Stephen? Or Stefan?
Sculpting. I incorporate anatomical and biological information and knowledge into stone medium primarily. Brings out the life.
Interesting.
It was 8-year pursuit in college.
College. Yes.
Did you go at some point? I mean, before your accident.
Well, quite comfortable now. He kind of undoes his hood, revealing that he actually has hair. It's long, it's greasy, it's unkempt, but it's tied up in a ponytail. I wanted to be a doctor at some point. However, I never finished my medical studies.
Oh, so that's unfortunate. Any specialty or just general medicine?
Your average physician. Would have been okay with just working in a hospital, really.
And then what stopped you?
Personal trouble. Let's just say it's not easy when you don't have anyone cheering for you on the sidelines. If there is nobody to cheer you on, there is no real reason to continue.
Yeah. A friend of mine was like that back in New York. Jewish slurs are so easy to come by. Being the way I was raised by my parents, who lived through the aftermath, post World War II. They were like, they told me, or they taught me, not to make those kind of mistakes. So I did what I could to stand up for him. They've been friends for a long time.
Were you around back in Germany when the wall fell?
Mm, sadly, not. I came here. Oh, how old was I? 9, maybe 10. Had to have been about 74. But I definitely had a sense of longing. But then again, Hamburg is not the pinnacle of innocence when it comes to local struggles.
I know what you mean. Well,
Mostly
sympathize for them.
religious. Yeah. Labor disputes, religious disputes between Lutherans and non-Lutherans.
Poverty.
Yeah, lots of it. Part of the reason why my mother immigrated here after my father was killed.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry for your loss, though.
No rhyme, no reason, but
But
the
it's
past
nice.
is the past.
It's admirable when parents do decide to take their children with them, kind of go elsewhere for a fresh start instead of staying in an environment where, well, you know what I mean.
Well, she had to do something with what little bit she could save. After that, her tutoring of other local children fell apart.
She was a teacher?
She taught in the kitchen of our family home.
Oh,
It's supplemented though. My father always told her, you know, keep what you could aside. It might be needed. So she did. But yeah, after that, after his murder, so children's parents they stopped bringing them to her. Found
that's a
a
shame.
different route, so she had to do something. But I try not to think about it. After her murder in New York, just walking home after work, she made her usual rounds, picking up some groceries, some random punk on the streets, just in an attempt to rob her, I was told. And, she, yeah, I guess didn't give them what they wanted willingly enough.
While you're telling this, Thomas is visibly nodding in understanding. You can see that the, well, the unscathed part of his face, left side, tenses up. His jaw tenses up a little, like he's biting on something, or that it visibly affects him.
Hmm. Gonna make a perception empathy. Oh yeah, oh yeah, that's complete. What's the exact emotion?
Compassion, understanding.
You show as much feeling despite your obvious condition as many I associate with quite often. Oh, definitely brings me back to a few nights ago at St. Christina's.
The church,
Yeah,
chapel.
historical. It's in the historical district,
Yes.
a historical Catholic church. Plus, a couple unusual individuals in there that night. One of my acquaintances who frequents the place, he something they were saying or something they were exuding was really getting under his skin. Had to try to keep him calm. And as Stefan talks, like you notice that his voice is very lilting, very like how can I put it? Like melodious.
Hmm.
It was resolved, but so many memories brought up. I had to exit.
Understandable.
Yeah,
Say, do you frequent St. Christina's frequently?
not too frequently. Whenever I need to reflect. The last time was after the police officer's murder in this side of the city,
Hmm.
farther north, I believe, of where we are.
Yes. I heard about that, and it had repercussions for the following weeks. Police patrols were happening more frequently here.
I've been noticing they have been uh, filtering in here, uh, even in the recent past few weeks. Still trying to find leads, probably patrol the area. It was not an easy time.
Concerning St. Christina's Church, you have come across a religious man by the name of Wesley?
I can't say I have. Say, man, I ran into the first time I ever saw him there. Although I could have missed him previously, was went by the name of Richard.
Richards. Richards. Doesn't ring a bell. No. Is he one of us?
It,
Generally speaking.
9. They seemed normal, just people, but very cold, calculating businessmen. A lot more colds than I have ever encountered, but it could just be their discipline.
Almost like a CEO of a company or something.
Mm.
Very poker faced.
The larger man, yeah. Richard, he was asking questions regarding religion and why, trying to understand it, not quite, um, not quite picking up on it. I know some people do not understand religion as well as others.
Well, there's not always a surefire way to explain it to non-believers, I suppose.
No, no, not at all. But after my egress, well, during my egress, I was assaulted by quite a pungent odor of shit and cigarettes and body odor. I just continued out the door. Just kind of tried to imagine myself not there in the courtyard, huddled, sinking, really unable to move, just watching, listening. I was quite the upset. I don't know what was going on, but yeah, it was quite unnerving. I do have to say.
Seems we live in interesting times.
Yeah, yeah. If only it wasn't. If only it wasn't for certain events that leads to certain people's deaths.
Thomas cocks his head.
Not important.
I won't try any further, though.
So what is it you do, sir?
Thomas fiddles around in one of his jacket pockets. Gives you what looks like a very thin version of a Swiss Army knife. Slides it over the table.
Huh.
Basically, it's a lockpick.
Interesting. Huh. For he slides it back over. For mechanical endeavors.
Mechanical endeavors of sorts, yes. Mostly getting into places, but yes.
Well, seeing as I think we can both speak plainly here, and it's no secrets that you are one of probably many underdwellers.
Mm-hmm.
I would be interested in how can you say an agreement of fair exchange.
I'm listening.
And he goes and tries to describe as best he can the taller man, really stone faced expression, really hollow eyes, very muscular, very very tall, like well over 6.5 feet. Um, and then the other man that he said went by the name of Richard. Um, I don't know. I don't know exactly what was said, but there were a couple individuals at the church that were quite upset. I don't know what was said inside. I was in the courtyard, but I overheard a little bit in the courtyard. If you run into either one of these individuals fitting that description, and even the second name, I don't know the name of the first man. I would be interested to know what they do, just a matter of curiosity. And I suppose I could maybe try to dig up information for something maybe would be interest to you.
An observation for an observation, so to speak.
Yeah.
I have a relative. Goes by the name of Chris. Very good at building things. Tends to frequent the more artistic of our kind. He's mostly found in their circles, but he's one of us. I haven't seen him for a while, and I'm getting worried.
An underdweller?
Yes.
Interesting. Where was the last place he was seen?
That I don't know. However, if it would be of any help, his features, and he gestures at his face, involve scabs, almost like Thomas winces at the thought, like a burn victim.
Did he go out always covered like an overly dressed Arabian chic? Lots of linens?
He wasn't the most social of underdwellers, even for somebody who's supposed to be close to his brothers. They're supposed to know what I mean.
Artistic establishments, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Art galleries, museums, things of that nature?
Yes.
I think maybe I can look into this.
And I shall do the same.
He kind of reaches into a breast pocket and pulls out a paper and pen and begins writing. You can reach me at that number if you find anything.
Thomas reaches over, takes the card,
And
pockets it.
reaches into a pants pocket, pulls out a little cheapy flip phone. Uh, Looks like it's probably like prepaid. Um, do you have a contact number by chance?
Thomas rummages through his pockets again. Gets out a flip phone as well. Looks probably as cheap as yours. I do. He
And he
goes through the
Stefan
numbers.
slides his phone over and like basically like offering or basically putting it out for you to like input it.
Thomas, with a few quick movements of his fingers, puts in a number. Doesn't put in a name, just puts in the initial T. Hands back the phone to you.
Quite good. All right. So, maybe. Nah, not too good with computers. Don't really use them myself. Interesting. Are there? Is there anything else the smart does?
Well, I suppose, as many of us, um, she deals in information.
Ah, true to your circles, all of you. Very, very familiar. Uh, hey, Stefan kind of resituates himself, kind of looks around, eyes going over to the pool table. Do you by chance play?
Well, Thomas looks at one of the pool cues. Haven't used one. Well, at least not for the purpose it was intended to, but it's been a while.
Stefan gets up, walks over to the table, pulls out some change from his pocket, and the balls slide down the chutes. And he goes to pick up a pool cue. Kind of begins looking down it. Kind of looks very awkward doing it, like he doesn't play much himself. I guess I will rack. I've seen it done a couple times. And puts them into the triangle. Slides the cue ball on over. And then very dexterously pulls it off. And picks up the stick and kind of backs away from the table a little bit. I believe for this it's like Dex Athletics, I believe.
I think so.
And each success is indicates a ball sunk.
And exactly how many rounds do we play?
We'll do 8.
Okay.
or less.
We'll see where we end up.
And Stefan just kind of lets you take your time on the break.
Thomas takes the pool cue and switches hands. If you pay particular attention, you can notice that he's actually left-handed. And his left one is the most dominant hand of the two.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow. Yeah, damn good break.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, I guess you are Stripes dominant.
Guess I'm better at this than I thought I was.
Well, I guess it is you again.
So I roll again now?
Mm-hmm. Oh wow. Only one ball left. Stefan kind of comes up to the table, kind of looking like odd. Yeah, manages to get it, and just kind of steps back. Well, I guess it is lucky for me. I did not. I did not make any ventures.
Yeah.
As you come up to it and land the last ball, and kind of sets the cue back up against the wall.
Thomas points at the wall where there's visibly a little dent in. We played darts last time. Wasn't so lucky.
Huh. Must have been a hell of a loss.
In a way, yeah. Then I came back and I won.
Ah. How much luck did you have? Was there money on the game?
$60.
Oh. Was it it was up here, I suppose?
It was against true Bruja above all things.
Stefan's eyes just kind of widen and one eyebrow goes up, like quizzitively.
Thomas grunts.
Bruja.
Yes.
One of them didn't happen to work here, did he?
You did.
Who was the other by chance?
Goes by the name of... Well, Thomas smiles. Takes out a card from his pocket. Gives it to you. Consolation prize, I suppose.
What's the name of the card?
Mortimer Wilford.
Huh. Businessman's in, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. And he kind of shuffles it into the breast pocket on the left side this time. That could be interesting. Maybe maybe if I, well, drops the right name, I might find out. I might, oh, I don't know. Shot in the dark. I wonder if he's a patron of the arts.
Patron of the arts in what way?
Well, there's only one way you can be a patron, and that is one who is not opposed to financial investment.
Hmm. Suppose
For
you'd have to
payoff.
ask him.
I just might. And he kind of looks at his watch. I suppose I should be heading back out of this area so I can catch a cab.
Hmm.
I was told they don't usually come around here. You can join me if you would like. And he heads toward the elevator.
Follows you. I won't be taking a cab. However, I will escort you to wherever you deem most comfortable.
Safety in numbers.
Indeed. Puts his hood back on.
And the two get into the elevator. Door closes, starts going down. Stefan kind of puts his head up as well. Kind of looks a little odd to see someone of his age, wear a hoodie, but especially with business casual. The elevator gets down to the ground floor, and both exit and head head back toward the southern edge of the projects, more the southeast. Um, make a. It's going to be a wit streetwise, but for me, it's just going to be wits. One success. Lucky me. He kind of seems like he takes a moment to kind of remember, get his bearings, and then he starts heading um, in a direction that you would probably know is generally not frequented by people because of some bad history around some condemned buildings.
You'll feel a hand on your shoulder. Fact. Or wait, English.
Yeah.
Not there.
Walking by condemned buildings seems to be usually safe.
Walking by condemned buildings could get you robbed or ambushed.
Good point. And heads away, taking a wide swath around the building next to it, which is a warehouse, run down but not condemned. So I'm assuming you don't do the information game?
I do.
Any recent successes?
Unfortunately, nothing I can talk openly about.
What happens below the streets stays below the streets.
Indeed.
That's a shame.
However, the individuals you mentioned happen to be the subjects of many conversations these last nights.
Similarly, very large men with very stern business demeanors.
For example, yes.
Interesting. Very interesting. The two make their way through various alleys in the projects, and at one point, um, you see Stefan kind of stop for a moment. And kind of you hear the sounds of a cat meowing, and he starts making his way toward it. And very, very, very carefully, he walks up behind the cat and grabs it, kind of huddles it close to himself, just kind of pets it. It's okay. It's okay. You shouldn't be out here, little guy. And then you hear the cat kind of, and then quiet. I'm going to actually have to make a self-control roll. Lucky me. And you hear him kind of like audibly kind of choking, like he's choking something down almost.
Thomas whispers, "Just think it's schnapps."
See him walk over to a dumpster and move a bag over and drop it in. Coming out of the alleyway, clean himself up a little bit. No matter how many times I do that, it never gets better.
Not quite as good, is it?
9.
Well,
But at least no one was around. Well, none of the straits, as we like to call them. Then he continues walking on through the alleyways. Pretty more or less uneventful. The rest of the walk through the projects. A few sounds here and there, mostly off in the distance, and a few times on the walk back to around like where Chinatown, Little Italy start. Few gunshots, the usual sounds of the projects, various screams, yelling off in the distance, and both approach the edge of the projects, and you start to see buildings with signs. On one side, you kind of make out Italian restaurant names. The other can't really make out too much. Well, Chris, it was you were looking for.
yes.
Yeah. He goes back over the description of the men that he described earlier. Uh, kind of more like to remind you. I will see what I can find on him. Tended to stay above ground most of the time.
Thomas cocks his head. Yes and no.
Okay. Well, if I find anything, I will call and let you know.
I will do the same if I happen to come around any details about this man in a suit.
I know it's fairly broad, but if something should be heard that catches your interest, I would be interested. I might
Very well.
even be able to throw in bonus compensation. Probably not much, but something nonetheless.
Thomas
And
taps his breast pocket. You can hear cardboard. You going to make me an ashtray?
I think I could. Any particular motif?
Nothing fancy, just something very, well, user-friendly, I suppose. I don't want to knock it off my table or anything.
That is fairly easily done. I'll see about picking up some materials.
Okay, I'd appreciate that.
And Stefan crosses the street. As he does now that he's outside the project, he kind of looks around, takes his phone out, and you hear him dialing the number. Not quickly at all, pretty clunky, and begins making a call. If you hang around and watch him from wherever you watch him, within about 10-15 minutes, a cab pulls up out front of an Italian market about maybe halfway down the street on the left, the interior side of Little Italy. And he gets in and heads off.
Shortly after he heads off, he will get a text message on his cell phone.
Checks it.
Auf Wiedersehen, Herr Braunfiedler.
Interesting. And with that, the scene will close.